for people that are listening to this that are either filmmakers or creatives, you have your course Kolder Creative, where you get to effectively mentor a lot of individuals that look up to you in the space. How do you guide them and support them in tapping into their own unique genius or like their own filmmaking creator capacities? I think we touched on this a lot of like following your inner curiosities, but for somebody that isn't as far along as you are in developing your craft, do you have like a tip of advice or two for people that really look up to you and admire you and want to create epic films, or it could look like any creative endeavor but aren't quite there yet?
Totally. I think one hard reality of life is that in order for you to excel at anything in life, you need to have some discipline. You got to be disciplined. You need to prioritize the things that you actually want to excel at in life. And with video editing, if we're using that as an example, what I always say is you need to first understand how to use the tools before you can really get into like a deep flow state. Before I want to create like a complex transition or, some crazy effect, I'm not going to be able to do that on my first month in the software. I have to build this foundation of understanding the tools and how they work and how I can use them in certain situations to make my ideas come to life. And that is a process, and that process requires dedication, to immersing yourself into that world. So that's definitely something that I tell, all of my students is to make that commitment to learning the foundations of whatever it is that you are wanting to excel at and learn them properly in depth, make it be second nature. So then when you get to a point where you have this passion or this inspiration inside of you to create, you can do that in a very free-flowing way, and you don't have to think about how to do certain things, technical things, whatever. You have that base foundation of knowledge, and you can just flow at that point, But it takes time to get to that place,
Yeah. We live in a society that's so impatient and wants results the next day.
Totally.
It's like,
Totally.
You see how many gym signups on January 1st then fall out a month later, and it's like, it's one thing to admire greatness and to appreciate beautiful creations. But then especially if you're living on your phone where you're comparing yourself to other people's highlight reel all the time, and you're not putting in the hours of like the discipline of what it takes to actually attain that, you're always going to have this delta, this difference and disjunct between your reality and what you want.
Totally.